What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 16 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Blood Dragons Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, some absolutely fantastic battles for Abarash, taking on 4 stacks at once at the Vale of Woe and them troubling his army a little bit despite them being vanilla stacks, and then onward to Khorne, who proved damn well worthy in the eyes of the first Blood Dragon. There, those aspiring champions of Khorne and those Skull Hunters proved to be very, very tough opponents. I really appreciate that. We still have several quests on hand, as well as 2 turns away into the next worthy foe encounter, so plenty of stuff to do while we move on to hunt down Zatan and Walach, just because we can and just because, well, they'll probably give us decent duels. I do wonder whether we can get Grimgor to come up here, though we don't know where he currently is. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time around, I think most of our lords are effectively going to be sitting pretty in this particular turn, except with the possible exception of Anarch, who will maybe want to raise Mount Squighorn. So why don't you do that? And we can't really move Walach away because he's kind of stuck until... What was this? Oh, right, the Banner of Lamia. Walach is effectively stuck until we got the defenses or the library up at Nongchang, so yeah, maybe I'll resolve this. A little bit of damage on our Bloodkin Thralls, but ain't it always? We're gonna raise the place. And, damn, I was hoping we'd stay in raiding stance, which, in fact, we can. Oh, though sadly, raiding stance for the Vamps doesn't heal our units, so we could swap into Hidden Encampment. We might not be able to auto-resolve this one. Oh, then again, we might. Who knows? Krazakrak, what level are you? Not high enough level, eh? Alright, well, ooh, a potion of healing, though. Nice, and War Griffin Skeletal Mount, and quest now available for Anarch as well. Alright, you know what? Fine, if the quest is available, we may as well heal ourselves up rather than raid. As we could probably do that next time around. Also, Skarsnik, where the heck are you? What's he doing? Probably fighting around down here. He has destroyed the Dwarfs after all, or the Krazakarak Dwarfs, so it's not like he ain't doing nothing. Anyway, I do believe that's all we got to do for this particular turn, so we're gonna skip, building upgrade, and by the looks of it, we're good. And just to double check that we are not able to upgrade any of you to tier 4 yet, and it doesn't look like we are, so let's keep on going. We approach Carcassonne, and we just gotta get somebody down to... Oh, right, I forgot about you. We gotta get somebody down to Lamia to finish up with our last library location. While the turn is ending, oh, hello, what do we have here? The Abyssal Revenant will be attacked by Grenagar, who has a very nice elite stack while we're in March stance as well. And didn't even see this guy. This is gonna be a toughie, especially as this force is made up of primarily Bloodkin Thralls, who can't really fight Temple Guards or Horned Ones or anything like that, or probably Sacred Kroxigors one-on-one, even without considering the March stance. Well. And we're going to have a pretty interesting fight then. Hopefully we don't lose units, as I don't want to, well, at least these units, as I don't want to re-recruit them or have wasted valor. Let's get the Razor Standard on you, I think, or... Well, maybe we'll actually put the Razor Standard on one of the knights for now, and I gave you the Banner of Lamia, which is currently in the center of your forces. Anyway, before we get started, at the time of this episode's recording, we actually did not reach the engagement threshold, or at the very least, we didn't reach the like threshold, so not enough likes. But we did go over the comment threshold. A little bit iffy, but we'll do the hour long for this episode nonetheless. But if it continues in that light, then perhaps the next episode will be at the standard 30-ish minute mark. That said, the offer remains at 300 likes and 40 comments for the hour long. Anyway, Grenagar, you look like you've brought us a heck of a fight. Well, let's find out for sure.
Our ambitions are as endless as the ocean depths.
Oh, those poor, poor lizards. They thought they had their chance, but alas, we rolled a choke point battle, wherein they will not be able to take too much advantage. On top of that, I do believe we've got some water down here, which may mean we're able to make use of the aquatic trait on our Ordo Profundum units. But yeah, our very fragile Bloodkin Thralls don't need to worry about getting ripped apart by Horned Ones and Sacred Croxies and Temple Guard and other elites, because they will be directly behind the Empty Dead and the Depth Guard Deck Ravagers, and well, I don't imagine we'll have too much trouble holding the enemy off. Plus, we have lots of snakes now, not just our 2, but with the addition of our Depth Guard champion, and we'll have 3 big old snaky boys to do the thing. Oh, I like the glow on all the Ordo Profundum stuff as well. I also like this guy's sort of battle-ready, semi-hunched over pose. But anyway, here we go. We get the battle started off. We'll move the Abyssal Revenant in by himself to start annoying some of those enemy units of Pterodon Riders. Of course, they stand no chance against him, but the enemy will send a Coatl. The living versus the dead here, as the Coatl and the undead Coatl here face off against each other. And just exchange plenty of lightning breaths. Of course, and the enemy Coatl doesn't stand much of a chance against the Abyssal Revenant here, so it's only a matter of time until we bring him down. In addition, we have transformed our other 2 snakes. Just want to double check. Does Ithaca's snake form look the same as the other snake form? We got to the higher horns. And maybe that these guys do have base differences, although we'll need a few more Ordo Profundum heroes to determine whether this guy is specific or whether they just have variations in their horns. But yeah, nice to have these guys on the field. Can't wait to get some of those cavalry units from the Ordo Profundum as well. Anyway, it looks like the enemy Coatl is down by about 30% of its HP. The snakes are moving in to annoy those Fire Leech Bolas, as obviously we don't want them harassing our back lines. A Wraith Storm comes down in the middle of the enemy formation, taking about 40% of the HP from a unit of Horned Ones, and it's time for the enemy units to move on. And the Empty Dead and the Deck Ravagers behind them will hold ground, while the enemy fails to, well, take advantage of the fact that we have a lot of weaker troops. That said, this also means we can't really take advantage of our massive pile of cavalry. Our Bloodkin Thrall Adepts are basically going to have to stand back while we hold the line, which is fine, but oh well. Could be better. Anyway, we're gonna get a Kraken's pull coming in from the Abyssal Revenants, sucking in all of those enemy units, or as many as they can, and well, where one vortex comes down, we can always get a second, as the Pit of Shades from the Rubric of Dark Dimensions activates right beside of that Kraken's pull. We also see the Blight Swarm coming down, and look at all those effects. This is pretty glorious. Generally, I tend to think that sometimes the effects are too much, but in this particular case, it's looking pretty good. Especially with those snakes in the background and sort of with the vortex effects behind them. Fantastic shots. All right, Ordo Profundum starting to get properly in action here. The enemies continue to fail to break through the Empty Dead and our other elites, and now the snakes have moved in to help matters out. The balance of power has shifted to about 65, maybe even 70% in our favor now. Ooh. Are we gonna get a crash here? Uh-oh. Maybe too many effects for my PC. Might not be able to handle this much. Okay, now we're back. That was close. Looked like we were on the verge of a crash there, but it does happen periodically. One day I'll upgrade the stuff and then it'll all be good, I hope. Anyway, continue making our way through the enemy lines. The snakes are working together in the background, and by the looks of it are dishing out massive amounts of damage. We have taken a teensy bit of damage on some of the Depth Guard, Deck Watchers, and Bloodkin Thralls, especially where the enemy Lord is whacking away at us. But I wager it won't be enough. Oh, wow, that poor Bloodkin Thrall just got exploded by Oh, the fact that he just exploded from a punch like that, that's fantastic. You gotta love the Kroxigor Ancient Lords. Anyway, it's time now to move in the Bloodkin Thrall Adept Knights. The enemies will have failed to move on through, and now just a little bit more damage will force the enemy to run, wherein the Thralls can chase them down. Another Blightstorm comes down on the enemy, reducing their melee defense by 20 and increasing the damage that we're dealing all over the place. The choke point is still ours, and by the looks of it, the enemy army is just about ready to shatter. Absolutely glorious. Alright, get a few more spells in there. Another Pit of Shades from that Rubric of Dark Dimensions. The enemy tries to run, but run into another vortex. All the while, the snakes devour them from overhead. And of course, the snakes don't care about the vortex effects. And there we go. I do believe with that, the enemy army is shattered, absolutely slaughtered in this choke point. I mean, I was expecting a good battle, but I enjoyed that very much. We haven't had a lot of choke point fights in this particular campaign, so it's a nice change of pace, and since everything was blobbed up together, we got to see all those effects going on pretty much at once, and see lots of our units fighting together. Huh, and I noticed the lightning effects from the snakes kind of stay on the field. Or are those from the snakes, or are those from the Empty Dead? I think they're from the snakes, but anyway, we got a little bit of chasing to do. In fact, we got a lot of chasing to do since this army attacked us and will survive. But well, hopefully not too many of them will survive. We'll do that off screen. Alright, well that worked out reasonably well. We got plenty of damage on our 3 Danger Noodles, and, well, they probably carried the day. Plus, the fact that we got a choke point battle out of that was also really quite helpful here. Though, I suppose it was to be expected considering we were crossing the river when we got attacked here, so it does make sense. 200 Martial Valor, really not enough. Oh man, such an elite army provides very little, surprisingly, martial valor. It's really the martial valor that's going to start gating us soon. Our metal reserves are climbing, and soon we'll probably be in a decent state, so it'll all be valor. Which I guess makes sense for Aberesh's get. Strength rank 5 now, Greenskins. Well, us taking out, what, 3 of your armies plus 3 was is probably what caused that, but we haven't had a chance to fight Grimgor yet. And until we do, and we are going to keep at war with you. What do we have here? Diplomatic relations reduction or control reduction, which is irrelevant to us. And, hey, what the heck? How'd I click that? I was trying to click here. I don't know what happened there, but I am interested in destroying Karak Dromar. Well, perhaps not destroying, but this army needs to do something. It needs to level, it needs to work, etc. So I think Karak Dromar is on the way. Plus, it is in the area of the Bloodkeep Library. Also, how do you... still kind of hate us. Still a reasonable likelihood that they will eventually attack us. Walach, how are we looking at Nongchang? 3 turns, 2 to 3 turns until it can defend itself, but for now I think you have to stick around. Zacharias, I guess you're gonna have to go into a camp stance to travel through the forest here. Oh, wait, actually.
Dragon Slayer aspirant.
Yeah, I'm still not willing to risk march stance here, so you gotta do it this way. We could get attacked by a ton of these enemy units at any time. Defenders of Blood Keep, nice. Melee defense and armor increase for Thralls, Lesser Undead, and Ordo monsters, which should be quite helpful for armies like this one. Now up to 79 melee defense on our Graveguard. They're still not going to be as strong as Vampire Count Graveguard because we don't have Mortis Engines or Necromancers or Corpse Carts in general, so no Master of the Undead, no Unholy Lodestones, no Reliquary Binding, anything like that, but oh well. They serve their purpose as an anvil, and we can certainly keep them up with our casting. Aberesh. And you now have one of these neophyte tents, which means at any point in time that we desire it, we could get you a new bloodline champion. Though, stoic violence, I like the idea of eternal discipline, but speed and charge bonus makes it a relatively useless trade, and I think we'd rather wait. Kolek is running around. Alright, you gotta be kidding me. I see 2 armies here, and oh my lord, Eric Vrag was a tier 5. They seem to have taken it over. Well, that's a shame. And where the heck did... Ah, there he is. I was wondering where Zatan went. Well, it's not like we really needed this because it's, well, it's right beside Jarn and Grund anyway. So, and that's just fine, I suppose. We'll probably want to knock these armies out, but these guys are relatively weak. And frankly, Zatan's army is weak, but we mostly want his defeat rate. Now, what we'll want to do here is declare war on him by talking to the northern provinces, who I'm still thinking of potentially making an alliance with.
Ready to defend.
At the end of the day, it's fairly unlikely that we will be able to get all defeat traits throughout the campaign, so we'll just do this for now. And they're starting to they love the fact that we're fighting basically all their enemies, and the Jade Vampires and their unique units will probably benefit from some Cathian Outpost units, so if we can get to that point, I certainly can use those. Anyway... The laughter, Walach, I love it so much. It's fantastic. You are headed to Carrick Vrag. I guess I was about to say maybe we send Rudiger in instead, but frankly it won't really matter, because all of this is just a weak... Carrick victory? I mean, they do have some blunderbusses. I guess all of our Bloodkin Thralls will die doing this. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to manually fight this. Oh, fine. I guess if we have to, we have to. Are the walls still breached? The walls are still breached, which means you're completely screwed. Alrighty, we'll leave Abarush there for now. Let's see what else we've got. Edmund, I would like you to wait here. Ooh. Little army here. We can just auto-resolve this little stack. I was about to say, oh, there's Carl as well. I was about to say, I'd like to wait here until the next pop-up of the, what are they called? The Witch Hunter strikes. Let's kill off all of this, though. I mean, it's free stuff. You're in the center of the formation, so you can have this banner of Lamia, and the banner of the Fellbats goes on to the Bloodkin Aspirant at the cost of 20 armor, but he'll be able to summon bats and gains a pretty massive amount of missile resistance. Yeah. Can this be given to units? Does it? Oh, it can be given to any units. It doesn't have to be given to a hero. I'll think about that. 20 armor is quite the loss, but at the same time, he could actually get out of there if needed. Anyway, I'll resolve this real quick, and that'll be a little bit of damage. Nothing to worry about. Enthrall those captives, and that'll probably will have pissed off the witch hunters a little bit. Yes? Actually not all that much. You can go into raiding stance, I guess. Oh, it doesn't heal you, right. And in March stance we can return to Middenheim, so I guess that's what we'll do. Heal there to full. One of the main reasons I don't want to leave here with Edmund is there's a decent likelihood that another Witch Hunter army spawns at Middenheim, and we do want more of those Fleshwalker mongrels, so... yeah, all of the special units, just to keep trying them out. Anarch. Yeah, we're probably going to do your quest. Decent likelihood that we do it this turn as well. You two, get away from the Awakening just so that the raiding stops reducing its growth. But keep raiding in general. Alrighty, now this little destroyed army, we cannot chase it down, really. We have to cross like this. Alright, fine. Alright, bit of an issue in crossing the river, but we'll take out Quetzal, probably take out Marks of the Old Ones and alter the Horned Rat, and then go through Star Tower, Fuming Serpent, erase all this, and then head to the Maelstrom and the Galleon's Graveyard. Just want to make sure that there's ruins surrounding the Awakening such that it is unlikely, or at least less likely, to be threatened. Speaking of the Awakening, I think just in case, even with the library, we're going to build the Force Gathering here. Mostly I don't want armies just sort of hanging around near them, so yeah. And plus our precious metal, while we're raiding in the way that we are looking... pretty okay. Maximilian Jaeger, you're just hanging around Null, and ooh. army here? Just out of curiosity, you're not actually close enough for the... It doesn't look like you are, just to double check. No, I was thinking that he might be close enough for the garrison to sally out. What does he have here? Pegasus Knights, Grail Knights. Oh, okay, if you don't have the Pegasus Knights and Grail Knights, you probably have this army take him out, but at this rate, probably not. Keep on raiding, good sir. Just in case, though, let's get you some buffs. Immortal Horror, just in case they attack us here. For honor and for glory, Immortal Horror, most definitely. Yes, the Hunger. Yes, Invocation of the Eternal Wanderer. And... oh, damn, I just put 2 points in Gaze of Nagash. My bad. Definitely... oh, we actually need 2 points in the Gaze of Nagash. Well, then my not so bad. Alright, let's get you your main tree, same as the other lords that have the identical tree there. Don't need to do anything here. We will get Beguile. I might as well go for Bloodlust. Get Quick Blood and then into Bloodlust. It sounds like you're commanding units, and you may never command units. You're mostly here to raid, so, yeah. At least at the current time. Alright, Anarch, I'm about to move you. Just relax for like 5 seconds. Reinhardt, we're probably going to fight the Dwarfs here, but also relax for like 5 seconds. Conradine, you're supposed to follow Astrogoth, who is... ooh, is he moving closer to us? 15% missile resistance. It's very, very nice. For the army. It's very nice indeed, but... we have other fish to fish. Let's level up and then let's hit the let's get Anarch's quest battle, shall we? All right, so we got Drakenhof Templar warriors in decent numbers. You guys can't upgrade to your veteran state as yet, and even if you could, we do have the capacity for them, though. Wait, how much? What's the capacity on us right now? Oh, it's actually fairly decent here. Tempted to get a couple of the Bloodkin Thralls upgraded as well into the Drakenhof Sky Reavers. Love that devastating charge that they've got. Let's get 2. Oh, really? Oh, we have a lot of these on the field, don't we? Moment. We have 2 Sky Reavers here. And what, do we have another one here, was it? Oh, huh, what's our capacity for them? A moment. Oh, we don't, it's not that high. Damn. And the capacity for all the monsters together is really quite expensive. Oh, we still gotta get those Depth Guard Revenant Hunters on the field, but we're working on it with the Abyssal Revenant. It's just that his army needs XP. It hasn't had training up until now, so that explains why it's been taking it a while. Alright, fine. Upgrade this a couple of times. Man, 2k just to get 2 more units of these. Almost feels not worth it, but at the same time, I kind of want to max out this army so that it's all nice and blue and color coordinated, so for now, let's do 2. Expensive though they may be, there we go. Feels a little bit better. Then we will level up. We will want the defensive buff for all of the Ordo units, and that does include the Drakenhof Templar Sky Reavers. Thrall buffs we don't care about. Missile resistance is fine, generally speaking, but for now I think we're okay. Get your Heroic Killing Blow. And melee attack. I'm gonna say melee attack is the way to go. Oh, I never got you Smoke and Mirrors. My bad, you should probably have that. Penumbral Pendulum, you have a base version of it, don't you? These guys have spells. Well, you know what? We don't know what we're going to be encountering in this quest battle. Oh, you don't have Cloud of Horror. You know what? Let's get you Cloud of Horror. I don't think we need to rely on Penumbral Pendulum or anything along those lines. Let's get you two upgraded. You have Smoke and Mirrors, Master Beguilement, and you have your own Storm in the Night. Let's get you a Blade Shield here, sir. Getting close to level 30 though, which is great, as we'll be able to hit that. Mentor mark, which is nice to have. You can, I forget, is your training at 3? Yeah, we should have both of your training at 3. Gotta get that extra XP, and ooh, that extra point in training, though, would give us Deadly Onslaught. You know what, for this one battle, I think we'll take the Deadly Onslaught instead. That looks good to me. Anarch, it's time to do your personal quest battle for your Shield of whatever. Shield of the Grudges. Shield of the something. Is this the one? A Vault Lost to Time? I think so. Anarch will capture this prize, blah, 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 otherworldly disc. Now I just need to find out what it's called. Rune Shield of the Ancestors. Anti-magic pulse gives us an area hex of significant reductions in various things and cannot move. An energetic bulwark is basically the reverse. Well, maybe not quite the reverse, but, well, the damage resistance at the very least is. Range is 150, which ain't too bad. Looks fairly nice, though, at the cost of 16 ward save. I wonder if he's strong enough to lose that. But you know what? It is still a set, and it gives him a bunch of other stuff. And the campaign movement range after winning battles is nice to have on everybody. Anyway, Vault lost to time. Drawn by claims of another worldly relic, an Anarch will capture this prize, if for anything, to prove his Ordo's place among the others. Alright, we got a bunch of dwarfs, we got a Carnosaur, some flame cannons, looks like some solid stuff, and that's just what this is displaying. And we have a Lichbone Pennant that doesn't actually need to be in this army anymore. Put it on Anarch for the spell resistance, although probably not relevant to anything here. Actually, you know what? That's Thorek, which means he has Cladberkak, which means he's likely to hit our blobs of units with it, which means we can put the Lichbone Pennant on one of the central units and hope that... in fact, you know what? Put this here and put this here. Hope that they don't get too badly damaged by Cladberkak. Alright, otherwise that looks good to me. Let's do the quest fight. Go.
At last, the informant's tip proved correct indeed. Now all that remains is to pillage the relics from the corpses of these stunted fools. But wait. A force of dwarves seeks to block our passage? How quaint. I will not be kept from my prize. Not by these fat and stagnant idiots. Ride forth, my brothers, but all whom dare face us to the sword, and claim our prize! Break your sorry excuses for warriors upon the might and will of the Order Templaris!
Alrighty, here we go. The enemy has a pretty darn elite dwarfen stack, and Anarch is a relatively low level as yet, and his force has certainly not been leveled up and to a high degree, so we're going to have to work for this one. Still looking fantastic on that skeletal griffin, and the skeletal manticores look fantastic as well. Got to love these guys. The Ordo Templaris is looking just great. Anyway, we are going to send our flyers in first. Our 2 new units of Drakenhof Templar Sky Reavers combined with all of our Lord and Heroes, simply because the enemy has a lot of range units that are going to be very threatening, especially to our weaker Bloodkin Thralls, and probably even to the Templar warriors as well, namely the Flame Cannons, the 2 Flame Cannons, the Iron Drakes, both the Trollhammer Torpedoes, and the Flamethrower Iron Drakes as well. They've got organ guns, lots of stuff that could hurt our army quite a lot as we move on in. So, let's see if we can distract them long enough for the rest of our army to move, though once again, we are going to be a lot more fragile in the way that we do this than the Blood Dragon army or Aberrash's army would be, so we have to be a bit more careful. Anyway, Anarch will come down to stop those flame cannons from firing, and everybody will separate and target, hopefully, an important target. Looks like the enemy will activate the Ancestral Rune of Grugny and Rune of Speed and a bunch of stuff, which has a bunch of effects going at the same time. Rubric of Dark Dimensions, Pit of Shades, we've got the Soul Siphoning, and yeah, damn, that Rune Shield or whatever the Ancestral Rune, that effect is quite a lot. Kind of difficult to see what's going on, but what can you do? Anyway, we have our Cav moving into the flanks, though we have started to take massive amounts of damage already on the Drakenhof Templar Skyreavers. Hopefully we can keep them up with those invocated oaths being spammed on them, but the issue with them is that they are in a rampage. Both of them are in rampage, and they're effectively stuck. Thorek is fighting by the looks of it, or the thing that used to be Thorek. Oh, it looks like his texture went nuts. Oh, Lord, look at his head. Is that his neck? This is more horrifying than a Mutilith Vortex Beast or any other kind of chaos creature. Oh, poor Thorek. Man, that's distressing. But anyway. He may look wonky, but he does still hit very, very hard and will be very tanky, so we'll still have to watch out for that. He's more horrifying than a Hell Pit Abomination. The fact that the head is like that is making me laugh, though. Alright, well, our melee army is finally starting to move in, though it took quite a lot of effort. Our Drakenhof Templar Skyreavers are nearly destroyed with only 555 HP remaining. Anarch is going to move out of there, as well as he started to take quite a bit of damage as well, and hopefully we can allow these things to survive. The other one is relatively okay, but yeah, it's the Rampage really doing us in, as we weren't able to get them out nearly as early as we'd like. Nonetheless, they have served their purpose, as the army has been able to advance to where it wants to, and the Bloodkin Thralls and the Adepts and, well, basically all the infantry and cavalry are now embroiled in a good old-fashioned melee. And with the Dwarfen units, we do have to watch out for the high damage-dealing Slayers, and the Hammer is going to get another Rubric of Dark Dimensions upon them. But at the very least, the extremely threatening Trollhammer torpedoes and other range units have not been able to achieve too much. Looks like just barely the Drakenhof Templar Skyreavers that were reduced to a sliver of HP did manage to survive. With them routing, however, it looks like the enemy has a new force on the field.
No doubt they seek to steal our prize out from under us. They flood the caverns, hoping to break our lines under the weight of their sheer numbers. Show these abominations that no matter their number, they could never hope to surpass our power. Write them down!
Alrighty, here we go again. Sorry about the wonky editing, perhaps. I'm not sure what's gonna look like after this, but, well, it's a multi-part sort of quest battle, so that does happen. Anyway, here we go. We start off up on this hill completely surrounded by rats, and there's a lot of rats. Lots of heroes, lots of elites. You see a lot of Plague Monks. The Death Globes are definitely going to be threatening. Master Assassin here, Warlock Master there. Rats everywhere. And there's a Grey Seer, Rattling Guns, more Death Globes. Definitely some Jezzails I saw in here somewhere, but it's kind of hard to spot with all the numbers of enemies. Anyway, we're gonna have to try to take a good position up on this hill here, as otherwise we'll get surrounded and destroyed, but the enemy Hell Pit Abomination will peel away from the rest of their troops, and so will send Anarch to hopefully hunt it down if it actually wants to get engaged. Stop running. Come on now. Looked like our units of Templar veteran warriors were getting ready to fight it, but it looks like it's going to charge on in to fight the Templar Knights instead. Looks like it does knock one or two of them out with its first charge, but hopefully we'll be able to surround and destroy it. And right after, we surround and destroy the enemy Lord, a Warlock Master whose speed we bring down to a mere 29 with that Storm of the Night, and try to surround and destroy. We definitely don't want the Warlock Master casting his Howling Warp Gale, as we do have a fair few flying units, and we certainly don't want our poor Drakenhof Templar Skyreavers caught and destroyed, or nearly destroyed, like they were by the Dwarfs. Anyway, the Warlock Master goes down, but there's just going to be tons of enemy units to fight, and Ancestral Rune of Grugny? Why why do the rats have an Ancestral Rune of Grugny? That's very concerning. Oh, man. But anyway, looks like we have a Packmaster over here, and we're going to use Anarch and at least one of his minion heroes, his champions, to hunt them down. The Warlock Master went down, now the Packmaster's turn. It shall be. In the meantime, we will hold off the rest of the enemy units, and ooh, with our other armies, like our Graveguard armies and stuff, the red of the Storm Vermin would make them sort of blend in with each other, as it would be an identical color scheme, but because we're using the Ordo Templars here, these guys look very nice and contrasty with each other, which we gotta appreciate. And if we were using Profundum, we'd have a lot of green lightning around, just like the Warpstone weapons and effects of the rats, so yeah. Anyway, obviously we are surrounded from every single side by massive piles of Skaven, and we're gonna have to do our best to hold them off. Warp Lightning will come down in our blobs, so we do have to be careful. This is an armor-piercing spell and can do quite a bit of damage, especially to our thralls. I see some warp grinders moving in, which we're going to have to watch out for, and those rattling guns that I was talking about earlier. Definitely going to have to react to those. The balance of power is obviously in the enemy's favor at the current time, and will probably remain so for a good while yet. We also still have to watch out for those Drakenhof Templar Skyreavers being destroyed, and one of our champions is pretty badly beat up as well. Gonna have to watch out for that. Frankly, a lot of our units are starting to take damage. We can see many of them down to about half HP, but all the while we hold the hill against the massive piles of Skaven, we continue to hunt enemy lords and heroes down, and soon we'll move them all off the field. At the very least, we need the casters gone, especially since we don't have damaging spells of our own. I guess I was wrong, and a couple penumbral pendulums, especially Overcast, would have really helped here. But oh well. And we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. And frankly, Abaresh would prefer this than relying on the spell work to clear our way. I do like this sort of open area around the veterans and these warriors in particular, though. Just obliterating any rats that get too close to them, which we've got to appreciate. And damn Hellpit Abomination is still running around, but we had to by and large ignore it in favor of going after the enemy lords. So that we did. Our unit of Templar Knights is going to hunt down those Doomflayers, while the rest of the Knights are going after the enemy range units. The Rattling Guns did not get to fire off a shot, and neither did those Death Globes. We can allow the infantry to hold the enemy infantry off while we take care of those elite units and those threatening weapon crews. Our other Skyreaver unit is still doing good. Looks like they found an assassin. We'll hopefully bring them down. Though it looks like this flank will be ours soon. Since we've committed most of our cavalry to this side of the map, we may as well allow them to destroy this flank and then join the field here, where we're holding off the Vermintide. This is what it's all about. You gotta love fighting the Skaven across many campaigns. Well, fighting the Skaven and the undead, or, you know, playing the undead. The massive hordes of enemies that you hold off. There's always some absolutely fantastic battles against the Skaven. I remember in the, this was in Total Warhammer 2, there was a lot of these sorts of battles in my Thoric campaign, where just massive numbers of enemy Skaven surround the relatively few Dwarfs, and you had to hold on and defend. Those battles are always just so fun. Anyway, it looks like the balance of power has finally crept to about even, 50-50. We still have that Hellpit Abomination to bring down, but now with no more lords remaining, or at the very least the ones that remain being chased down by the heroes, it'll be Anarch who's ready to bring the Abomination down. He has reached his healing cap, though, so we still have to be careful. But he should be able to take the thing. Alright, loving all the knockback effects and watching that skeletal griffin go to work. We have by and large forced the enemy's leftmost flank to collapse and are now joining all of our infantry together. We are starting to run low on the numbers here, but now we have reinforcements coming in, so we should be able to hold those storm vermin off. Looks like there is a mutant rat ogre in here as well, but it might be stuck in its own units to some degree. There we go, back in action now. And an absolutely glorious quest battle once more. Look at those storm vermin down. We've got the Ordo Templars champion running amok through the enemy ranks as well. Gotta love those glowing weapons and those armored skeletal manticores. These guys just look amazing. Alrighty, and it looks like it's finally time for the rats to start scurrying. Not all of them, mind you. It's still only about 70%, maybe 65% a balance of power in our way, because the annoying aspect of fighting Skaven is that they have that tendency to rout and rally over and over again. So our adept knights in the background are doing their best to chase down enemy units. It does mean they're not contributing to the fight nearly as much, but they're contributing by forcing enemy, especially elite enemies, not to return to the fray. Anyway, our Drakenov Templar warriors certainly did a very nice job holding ground here, and they are the tankier, I guess, or more defensive-minded units of the base order knights. So this was, well, right up their alley. Alright, we got some rat ogres fighting together with that mutant rat ogre still, but it's time to bring it down as we send one of our Ordo champions after it. It looks like it's tired and it wants to book it on out of there rather than fight the Ordo champion directly. Well, it can attack its little cousins instead. Hey, and as soon as we move the champion away, the mutant rat ogre, it gets back into the fray. Tremendously rude, but, well, probably an effective move by the AI, so we got to give it credit for that one. Alright, and the enemies are still fighting, still holding on, if just barely so. Still have to be careful about our rampaging Drakenhof Templar Sky Reavers getting annihilated, and we're keeping Anarch near the more hurt unit so that they can, well, hopefully survive. By the looks of it, though, the balance of power continues moving in our favor. Our other unit of Drakenhof Templar Sky Reavers able to enter the fray even against Storm Vermin now, especially as they're not going to take nearly as much damage from them as they were from the elite Dwarfen units. And now it's time to run those rats down. Balance of power fully in our favor at last, and with that, the enemy army will shatter. Definitely a heck of a Vermintide, and what a glorious fight. Damn, I really enjoyed that. I'd honestly love to play it again. I wish I could play this particular battle with various different Ordos, just because, well, you gotta love holding a hill against endless tides of rats. But anyway, I love the two-parter aspect of it too. Great quest. Ooh, alrighty, that was most definitely a toughie. The Vermintide certainly lived up to its name, and what a glorious stand against massive numbers of Skaven. That is what it's all about when fighting factions like that. Now, the Drakenhof Templar Sky Reavers did well, at least in terms of damage, but they are still at least a little bit of a liability for us, as they just go into rampage, and then against forces like the Dwarfs, where those Slayers nearly rip them apart, and then same with the Storm Vermin with halberds, are very dangerous, and we do have to be careful. But and we still pulled it off. Good damage on pretty much everybody. Everybody got hurt, and 98 units lost even after all the healing was done. So yeah, very nice. We're gonna heal up just a little bit just in case. And do we get Old Grumslayer? Yes, indeed we do. A great and worthy act for these guys. We also have that rune shield now for Anarch. A little bit of martial valor returns to us, and we are still in range of the Pillars of Grugni, which we could raise. But probably... I wonder if the auto-resolve would let us do this. Let's find out. It's probably better than not moving at all.
Under my feet.
Gotta ruinate all this place anyway. And, yeah, our units survive. Alright, let's just hope we don't get immediately attacked. Raise the place for more metal. That one time we wanted you to move, of course you don't move. Go into encamp stance and not back off a little bit. You will heal up to full over the next turn if we don't get attacked. They're student, but we don't have the heroes for them, so they aren't too useful for us or for will ever be again. Well, I guess we'll get a few more heroes eventually, so they might be again. Gold Thirsty Divers will give us that campaign line of sight bonus, which is certainly valuable. But I'm still inclined to say, let me just see here. Battle-hardened mounts, 200 mass for all Ordo Knights. That's fantastic. Charge speed and charge bonus, Bannermen of the Path, missile resistance for all Ordo units when out of melee, immune to contact effects for monsters, which includes these guys, and then Thrall Knights and regular Knights. I'm, however, inclined to go for that melee defense, so we'll go for this one. Yeah, there's still a bunch of decent stuff in here in terms of getting those upgrades, so that's what we shall get. Alrighty, now I'm pretty sure I forgot somebody somewhere, though damn me if I remember where, as in somebody that we popped into a siege. I know that we were going to attack with you, Reinhardt, but you're not the one to whom I refer. Who is? It wasn't the Abyssal Revenant, it wasn't you two, it wasn't Rudiger. Oh, it was Rudiger. It was Rudiger and Abarash, yes, alright, that's the one I forgot. As I wasn't expecting to actually need to fight this one, but I guess, we'll have to, won't we? And Zach, you're staying where you are, just a couple more turns until Castle Carcassonne. Alright, which one do we start with? That was a toughie. This one will probably be the opposite of a toughie, so let's do this one, if I can just actually click it. If I can just... There we go. Took a lot of effort. These guys have numbers, but they don't have strength, so we should be able to overrun them fairly easily. Ooh, wait a moment.
Let the worthy come.
Gonna have to go through the effort of clicking on him again, but you, sir, are able to now upgrade to Disciples of the Path Knights. There we go. We got 2 flyers, we got 2 regular cav, we got 3 warriors. Gonna try to get some more, but we'll probably intersperse various blood dragon units in there, and just so that, well, we have various types. We could also start upgrading the neophytes to vets. We do have the capacity for them. And by upgrading one to a vet, we'll increase the capacity of the neophytes should we need them elsewhere. Yeah, why not? Let's do 3, 3, and 3 for now. These guys will probably go to a different army, as Abarash doesn't need them, though I still would like heroes of various kinds in his army. Just gotta wait until these guys get milled through for something better. Anyway, let's fight this guy. Alright, here we go. I imagine we'll be able to do this one pretty darn quick. There are still breaches in the walls from wherein the Chaos Dwarfs attacked the greenskins, so we can go right through the walls instead of over. Although, I guess to some degree we are still going over, as we do have a fair amount of flyers. Looks like a set of blunderbusses are going to hit our Bloodkin aspirant. Gotta watch out for that, and we'll take our revenge by forcing some zombies to distract those blunderbusses and hopefully prevent them from firing again. We have cornered the enemy lord, who we want to just bring down really quickly, and yeah, we could have gotten a duel out of it with Abarash, but this is not the kind of lord, I think, that has the kind of strength necessary for Abarash to basically want the duel. So down he will go relatively quickly. A couple more hits. And one more hit, I think. I saw something drop out of the sky. And there we go. The mount will follow. I think the mount took a little bit longer to come down as compared to everything else. Zombies are distracting those blunderbusses, and they are very, very threatening, so this is definitely a good use of them. We have the enemy hobgoblin archers cleared from the walls via the circle of blood, while our vamp infantry make their way into the fray. Over on the leftmost flank, we've sent in our 2 units of Disciples of the Path Knights by themselves. We don't really need to support them or really anybody in this particular battle, as this is just the dregs, and while the auto-resolve may not let us do this, on field, we have no problem at all. I've also been missing seeing the knights fight, or these specific knights fight, for a while, since we transferred 2 of them to become Inner Circle Knights, so it's nice to see them obliterate some Chaos Dwarf Warriors and Hobgoblins. Here comes some Bloodkin Thralls and some other Vampiric Infantry into support, though it looks like the enemy has support of its own in the form of... not the Chaos Dwarf Infantry, but the Infernal Guard here, who are steady, who are active, but they are relatively low in numbers, and they do have to take the hits from the area attacks of the Knights. Alright, how are we doing over on this side? Abarash and Co have by and large broken through, well, nearly so. Have by and large broken through the enemy blockade, but the zombies did their duty. And now we just gotta give chase to whatever units are in here. Just blob it up and go on in. Though by the looks of it, the enemy reinforcements are arriving on the field, and there are plenty of them. I think in retrospect what I should have done is sent Abarash here early, and just had him just use magic to obliterate everything here. I mean, it's only goblin and orc laborers here, but they are in pretty big numbers, and we will have to clear at least a decent amount of them out before the enemy army is ready to give it up. And I like the fact that it's blunderbusses directly behind the forces of laborers, because it's sort of like they're herding them forward. It's quite loreful there in that regard, and if the laborers try to turn, they'll take blunderbusses to the back. Anyway, Abarash continues to lead the force forward, going up the hill to the main portion of the enemy settlement now. Still getting those lightning effects from Abarash's weapon as well. I do wonder how much... sorry about the dropped frames. Once again, my PC is sometimes not the best at handling the areas where there's a crazy amount of effects coming down. And we're through. Alright, we're just running through the settlement. And we've essentially halved our army, but, well, once again, we don't really need to support anybody. And I just gotta make this one quick. Ooh, looks like we got a Searing Doom coming down, but they've wasted it by using it on the Phantoms of the First Keep, which are a summoned unit. And I'm sure they hit those Hobgobs as well, but the Contempt of the Chaos Dwarfs is, well, for the Hobgobs anyway. And the Orcs and other various laborers. Looks like Abarash did get a few spells off, clearing 3 units out, while he moves on in to go after another. And here come the Phantoms of the First Keep. Alright, very nice. I'll knock him away with that Enraged Scream and keep on working through those pile of gobos. We'll also send Abarash towards maybe a few more reinforcements, as I do see that there are 3 blunderbusses and an Iron Demon over there. I guess we'll have to take care of those guys as well. And oh, well, if it isn't a Sorcerer Prophet, maybe Abarash can take care of that, while the rest of our force surrounds and destroys what remains of the enemy. Alright, Chaos Dwarfs charging in right after the Hobgobs have, well, been by and large obliterated by the Vamps here. Which once again makes sense to use the laborers as a meat shield, but they hardly do any damage to the vampiric infantry. Especially due to the lack of armor piercing. At least the orc laborers have armor piercing accessible to them. Abarash has found the next enemy lord and a duel on the ground rather than in the air this time. And down he goes, losing his head. Very nice. Alright, now where's that Iron Demon? Maybe we can whack away at that thing as well. How many kills have these guys gotten? 137 and 12k damage so far. Not too bad, I would say. There's a unit of Chaos Dwarf Blunderbusses and a unit of Hobgoblin Cutthroats. Too bad the blunderbusses don't just take aim at Abarash and kill off half their own unit. In fact, it looks like they're moving forward to enter the melee, which seems like a bad idea. Well, that spell cleared out those hobgoblin cutthroats, and the blunderbusses, by the looks of it, are going to move past Abarash, but, well, I'm sure either he or one of his minions will get them, or one of his children, I guess. I don't think he'd call them minions. Manfred certainly would, though. Anyway, oh, speaking of Manfred, I think he's dead on the map. I did check the map earlier in between the episodes, and it looked like there was no vampiric corruption down south of Kemri, and Kasabar has been taken out as well, which is interesting. But also unfortunate, as I really wanted a vampiric ally to get some Mortis engines. Not because I think we need them, it's just because I think that with the weaker armies especially, as in the ones that are relying on Graveguard, it could certainly be a nice boon. Or even Unholy Lodestone Corpse Guards. At least with the Graveguard. We need Mortis engines to be with the Thralls, because the Thralls are quick and the Corpse Guards are slow, but the Graveguard are slow and the Mortis engines are quick, so yeah. And what the heck? What the heck is going on here? Oh, huh, there's some kind of weird terrain bug where they just kind of walk over the air. Wait. Is this unit going to do the same thing? So I'm just curious. And, oh, yeah, yes it is. Huh, it's like they're climbing. Oh, this is kind of neat. Dropping down. You know, it a little bit reminds me of the release trailer. I think it was the release trailer for Dawn of War 3. You know, the one with all the corpses of everything just like piling into a mountain or a volcano or whatever the heck that was. That was a great trailer. I think that might have been my favorite game trailer for a Warhammer game of all time. Which is unfortunate because it was for Dawn of War 3, but what a fantastic trailer. This is this is also great. I don't know why this is happening, but I am enjoying it. Alright, well, it looks like we've cleared the magical path. I guess this bridge isn't actually destroyed, but then why are we walking over it? Well, there's floating corpses up there now. Abarash has gone after the Iron Demon, but it looks like the Iron Demon is just about cleared out as well, and a couple more hits. One more hit will bring it down. And there we go. I do believe with the fall of the Iron Demon, the rest of the battle is ours. We'll give a quick chase to a couple of the enemy troops simply because the second army, the army that came in as a reinforcement, won't be destroyed, so we will need to. But yeah, if you haven't seen the Dawn of War 3 trailer, I'm 99% sure it's 3, do check that out, because it's absolutely fantastic. But anyway. Alright, there we go. Easy little fight. Just a matter of overrunning the enemy. I'm still salty about the fact that we don't get the precious metal or whatever we would have gotten out of the higher level building here that these guys tore down, but that's why they're getting destroyed. I mean, I guess we're better off just maintaining movement range than sack it, which will allow you to keep moving maybe all the way to Zatan? Nah, not even close. Wait. Rudiger can't move either? Wait. No. It's not Rudiger that we care about. We care about how far Abarash can move, which is actually also similarly not far. But oh well. And you can't raise this anymore, correct? Yeah, no. Alright, well, oh well, what can you do? Just stick around here then, the both of you. Can't really go anywhere else after all. I imagine these guys will run anyway. Just make sure that you're still near each other. Although, wait, did I just screw this up? Go into March stance. You need to stay right beside Abarash. I'm just a little bit concerned that they'll get separated on different sides of the settlement. Anyway, we're quickly running out of time, but we probably still have one more battle in us. Though the question is, where? Sorry, 1 second. Looks like somebody's at my door. Sorry about that. Alright, let's see what else we've got to do right now. And I think the only thing that we probably have is to try to get Reinhardt Van Hal into a fight, which I'm excited about, but at the same time a little bit wary because, once again, he only has those Bloodkin thralls. Just to double check here, you guys are not in danger. I just want to make sure that when we end the turn, nobody gets killed. Though I suppose, considering the money that we currently have, even if a few minor lords and get ripped apart by something, just because I forgot about them, it probably will make no difference because we could just raise a new one at level 26 or whatever our current level of lord raising is. So, alright, Reinhardt, let's get you in there. I want to see Albrecht Nictus get into combat. He's only level 4, so yeah. I guess one of the unfortunate aspects of the legendary heroes is that they always start at level 1. The issue there is the fact that we have to level them up, and it takes quite a while, as opposed to the new heroes, which we can raise at like level 16 or 20 or whatever it is that we're raising them at now. Yeah, but anyway, I guess we just declare war. I could ask somebody to join, but I also don't care. Alright, go. And go, 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 Pyrrhic victory here. Yeah, that's a lot of Bugmans. It is a lot of Bugmans indeed, and the miners, the weak in general, have plenty of armor, which we're going to have a difficult time dealing with as we don't have a crazy amount of armor piercing on the Bloodkin Thralls, and they do have armor piercing. So there's that. Let's get the Razor Standard on one of these guys. We should probably put the Banner of the Fellbats on the Bloodkin Aspirant, as we like to do, and hopefully he can distract at least one of the units of Bugmans with that. Lichbone Pennant. Who better to carry this? Everybody has magical damage here, so I guess it's somebody who is likely to take magical damage, but that's not really anybody. I guess we'll just put it in the center of the line. Yeah. Banner of the Eternal Flame and Banner of Lamia. You know what? Let's get spell resistance on both of you, just for now. Oh, or should we put the Banner of Eternal Flame on him? Put it on the Forsaken Circle. No, you know what? The Forsaken Circle will probably be far away from the main line, so let's do that. We need to make sure that the Banner of Lamia is close to the main line, though, so if we give chase to things, you know what? Let's swap that out as well. Pop you here and pop you here in the main line. I'll redo the banners later, but for now, we've got an actual potentially dangerous fight on our hands, so away we go.
Bleed them dry.
Alrighty, bleed them dry indeed, simple and to the point, and here we go. I think this is going to be a particularly good battle, as we do have to actually think about what we're doing. The enemy army is, in theory, better than ours, and we have to be very concerned about those massive piles of Bugman's Rangers. So, how are we going to handle this? The key, I think, will be to tie up as many of the, well, no, think about it, but obviously, the key will be to tie up as many Bugmans in combat as we can before they can really achieve anything. As usual, we're going to send the Bloodkin Aspirant forward. He does have his Raise Dead, but also now has Summon Fellbats as well. So that's 2 units of Bugmans that can't do anything. And then he can distract a unit, and we also have the, what are they called again? The Forsaken Circle and Albrecht Nictus moving in as well, and hopefully they'll be able to distract more units. Plus, I want to see these guys fight some more, and don't get me wrong, we'll be using them plenty throughout the campaign as we get this army properly up and running and doing things, just a little bit longer. But anyway, away we go. Here comes the Summoner. Gotta love the Bloodkin Aspirants for this particular ability, and down come the zombies, and it looks like this zombie unit manages to actually catch 2 of the Bugmans, while we summon some Fellbats and drop down upon the next unit, together with a Bloodkin Aspirant himself. There we go, that's 3 units out, and 3 units distracted as well, allowing Albrecht Nictus and the Forsaken Circle to move in and start ripping them apart. Obviously, they stand no chance in melee against the big baddies. Alright, and we'll be able to send at least 3 of these units running. Looks like the enemy infantry are moving into support, so we're going to use another Raise Dead summon just to block them off and keep them from reinforcing the bugmans over on this side while they get ripped apart. Our main force is moving in a very, very simple formation, just a big ol' line. At this point, we obviously don't want the Death Star at this point, as all of our units will distract each other, and we want as few units tied up in the melee against the enemy melee troops as possible, so that our flanking units on the left and rightmost flanks target specifically other Bugman's Rangers and essentially run around melee units. There we go. Just peel away and head around them and hit more of those range units. Our Lord Reinhardt here is also distracting an enemy unit, but not a Bugman's, but rather a unit of enemy miners with blasting charges. Obviously, our Bloodkin Thralls are fairly fragile, and we don't want those blasting charges obliterating a unit before they can do anything. Alright, it looks like Reinhardt and his bats have done their duty. The Bugmans are not quite dead here, but our Bloodkin Thralls have arrived and are going to move into combat with them instead, which allows our flyers to peel away and look for other targets to, well, target. And damn, I forgot how big Albrecht is. I wonder, is he bigger than a regular Vargulf? He's a big boy, that's for certain. And he's sending plenty of our own zombies flying, but hey, he's looking good while doing it. And the Forsaken Circle looking pretty big as well. Look at that one blasting charge hitting one of the bats. It must be disappointing to see no reaction from your explosion ability. Well, I guess it's technically sort of an ability. Special ammunition, special range attack, special range weapon. There we go. I'm trying to remember what the game calls those things. Anyway, it looks like we've managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemy melee units distracted by only 2 Bloodkin Thralls, which allowed all the rest of them to run around and each one and go for one of the Bugmans. Obviously, once again, while the Bugmans are okay in melee, they are going to... Let's see, Tattered Banners, there we go. Bugman's Rangers. 32, 48, not so bad, and 40 armor. But that won't be enough to deal with us in melee. Even with the Bloodkin Thralls. And with pretty much every single one of the Bugman units distracted, this battle should be ours. I mean, it's not going to end quite yet, but, well, it's just a matter of out-attritioning the enemy now. And I like the fact that this army has so many Bloodkin Thralls. I've been meaning to make a Thrall army. I may want to also do another Thrall army with a bunch of Adept Knights, maybe combined with a bunch of other types of Knights. I gotta think about that. Maybe those Revenant Knights combined with Thrall Knights. I want to see what that hero, once he comes back and unwounds himself, what he actually does for us. Oh, nice animation. Rip that poor little, I don't know what that was, a miner or dwarf warrior or whatever apart, but it looks like we won't need to do too much more than that. And beautiful. The enemy army collapses. It looks like the big old melee line that was distracted by these 2 heroic units of Bloodkin Thralls got charged in the rear by the Forsaken Circle. And that probably forced the battle to end. Very, very nice. And by the looks of it, we didn't take too much damage. Most of the damaged units are things like zombies and fellbats, which is summoned units, and most of our Bloodkin Thralls are basically at full HP. These ones are hurt, having taken about 30% damage, but haven't lost a single model, so we don't even really need to heal them. Although we'll maybe heal them a little bit, and our Bloodkin Aspirant, but off-screen. Alright, a very nice fight. I'm extremely happy with the result there, and that was a great showcase for how important the Bloodkin Aspirants can be when providing control on the battlefield. The enemy had, what, 5, 10, or 9 10, 11 units of Bugmans, and 2 more units of Quarlers. So absolutely massive range superiority. Discounting all their melee units, they probably had as many range units as we had melee, but basically none of them were able to really achieve anything, and certainly weren't able to get lots of mileage out of their range, despite the fact that it's a relatively elite range unit, simply because we had bats and zombies all up in their face constantly. And gotta love it. And, well, I did take a little bit of extra time at the end of the battle to wait and heal everybody up so that our losses were 0 at the end, though we obviously did take some losses. During the fight, it was primarily against the enemy melee troops, rather than the range. And the range, by and large, probably killed the zombies and bats and whatnot. Anyway, nice little battle. Reinhardt will get you a proper stack yet. We're gonna raise the place because, well, we still need all the metal in the world. And this army will probably be somewhat upsetty about it, but, well, what can you do? Let's keep you in channeling stance so that we can heal up the Bloodkin Aspirant a little bit and then start moving back down here. Oh, these guys are not going to be happy about that. Man, I really don't want to go around. But we might have to. And oh wow, lots of great and worthy acts. I guess this is the first time this army is fighting, so that does make sense. You have to just win 5 battles, and okay, well the Black Knight deployment is useless on you, but that's just fine. And what do we have here? Oh, everything's active. Blight Swarm, Revelant Slaughter area, and Eldritch Roar. Oh wow, you have tons of auras. I may want to get you some aura items then, and maybe even pop one of the aura banners on you, just because if you're going to stack so many auras, you may as well stack them on everybody around you, and we can sort of Death Star around you when we have more monsters. And what about you? A unit upgrade cost reduction for all units on army, irrelevant. Chaos armor, though. Melee damage, reflection, and missile block chance, nice, and missile resistance. And of the inner circle, win a battle with a unit of Drakenhof Templar inner circle in your army. For plus 2% splash attack power and 50 armor piercing weapon damage. That's not a horrible amount of armor piercing weapon damage, I guess. Not sure that the splash attack power 2 sounds worth it, but at the same time it could be worth it. It's just sort of, it could be one of those deceptive stats where even a tiny percentage could mean quite a lot instead. Maybe we'll either level up or briefly steal a unit of Inner Circle from Anarch and pop them in there, and just for a bit, and we shall see. Anyway, you have the first to fight Thrall aspirants in there, and then I guess everything else in the first tree is useless because you need... Oh, wait. You won't be able to upgrade all the monsters, basically. You'll only be able to upgrade the Drakenhof Templar Sky Reavers, which will need to make up the majority of the monstrous units in this army. We'll have to pay attention to that. As to what upgrade they need the most, it'll be probably the defense. I'm gonna have to say defense, yeah. So let's go through Wanderer's Path, Ordo Templaris, and into Magical Animus and Undeath Resurgent as soon as we can. We should also get Immortal Horror, but you actually did fairly well there, so there wasn't any need to specifically have you skilled up. Let's also get that ward save. Ooh, yes, Horrible Regeneration, great, but ward save for all Ordo, Monstrous, and Thrall units. So that includes the Bloodkin Thralls. This gives us Barrier for Ordo Templaris monsters and Thrall units, plus 8? Does it actually give us 8 barrier? That seems little. Barrier hit points plus 800 for the Forsaken Circle and the Abyssal Terranites, and you get horrible regeneration on you as well. Huh? You get a Undeath Resurgent as well. That's nice. We'll have 2 of those. Right, fine. Let's... Monstrous regeneration, or we can get the Hunger immediately. Let's get a Natural Resilience first to max out your stats. So, their barrier is currently at... Yeah, it's barrier 8 out of 8. Why? But why? They could take 1 shot from any missile troop, basically? I wonder what the point of that is. Maybe something I'm missing. On a single entity, this might be more worth our effort. Even if it was like 100 maybe, but 8? Why 8? Curious. We'll see how it performs in battle. I haven't ever considered what would happen if you have just a tiny barrier. But anyway, let's see. You guys I guess we're gonna have to head back to Castle Drakenhof because we'll need to deal with the Witch Hunter threat, and they may spawn here. The defenses here are okay. They're not strong enough to probably hold off 2 full stacks, so... Anyway, let's end the turn. We are out of time, but we should end the turn so I can do the admin between the episodes. Or at the very least, if we don't get attacked by something, we'll see. Lord not moved, unassigned skill points, character initiatives available in... Diplomacy. Itza, Grim Warzard, Boys, and Crooked Moon want to peace out. I'm good with that. And we'll do, I guess, the Trident of Mathlan and maybe another one of these quests next time around, but let's end the turn for now. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but if I did, it's too late for that, and... Okay. Oh, really? Really? The Bloodkin Thralls? Honestly, we can manually fight this. Manually. Go. Alright. Probably gonna be a little bit over time in this episode. I'm not entirely sure because I ended the recording when somebody knocked on my door, and now I'm very confused, but, well, oh well. It's just a pile of orc laborers. I'm honestly surprised that they're even bothering to attack us here. But at the very least, we can send Abarash to deal with Zatan. So there is still that. All right, you guys just stay back here, so that you don't die. I don't know why I keep keeping these Black Knights around, but well, they're there. Let's see. We're gonna be fighting in the shadowed area. I guess it doesn't matter either. All right, and we're on the field. Abarash, go duel Zatan. Hopefully he won't run. Let's have our melee troops. We don't really need to control this battle, and just blob everyone up and send them at the enemy. Abarash, you can be group 1, Aspirant, you can be group 2, and then Flyers here, and Cab is here. Is this an enemy Cab unit? Yeah, and ow, Zatan disappeared off screen for a second. Alright, go, go, go. Go fight him in a one-on-one. We'll see how effective that is, and we can immediately, I guess, summon the warriors of the first keep, just start working their way through those orc laborers, and just keep them up. Alright, heal yourself and buff yourself up. Alright, there we go. Wow, looks like he's got a little help. Won't really be able to see what the heck is going on. He has used Sadistic Snare on Abarash, but he continues in combat while that's happening, so I'm not sure that's going to help him out. Ooh, looks like our Phantoms of the First Keep get hit with a spell, so we can heal them up. Zatan is most definitely in trouble, but Abarash has lost his barrier. The rest of our troops have arrived. Let's, ooh, pop you guys into a blob and move on in. Flyers. Together. I saw a rocket somewhere. Oh, Zatan's nearly dead? Yeah, it's still dark, I can't see where the enemy artillery is. It's in there. It's over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Alright, all of you go for that artillery piece. And I guess you guys can loop around this way. Alright, how's Zatan looking? Couple more hits? Oh, Abarash got distracted by the enemy Chaos Sorcerer. Or Chaos Sorcerer, or whatever. Demon Smith Sorcerer. I mean, technically it is a Chaos Sorcerer, but you know what I mean. Anyway, everybody else keep moving in. Knock Zatan down real quick. Once again, not really a battle that has to be controlled. We will have the Bloodkin Aspirant, though, heal up the Phantoms of the First Keep, and Zatan be running. Can he escape, though? Well, he can if the Demon Smith Sorcerer distracts him. Abarash, activate your speed abilities. Lightning Reflexes and Enhanced Battlecry and Enraged Battlecry. There we go. And Zatan stopped in his tracks, as it were. But Abarash is really quick when he has both of those abilities up. And I'm completely ignoring our army here. Come on, just hit him one more time. Oh. How'd you whiff on that one? You have 181 melee attack. And, oh, you guys, go fight those orc laborers. And, ooh, somebody just got hit with a spell. There we go. Down goes Zatan, no problem at all. You can go after him now. Let's keep everybody else nice and healed up. Alright, rest of our army, and just keep moving on in. Could have also potentially sent the, they're moving together rather than... Okay, wait, did I screw that up? Ah, there we go. No, they're still moving together. Shouldn't be doing that. Not that it matters, mind you. Let's heal everybody else up so that we have no losses here, though. Alright, you guys have shattered those orc laborers. I should imagine that the artillery piece is dead. What a weird battle. This one's way too dark. Alright, Abarash, activate your abilities, keep everybody nice and healed up. You've taken a little bit of damage, let's heal you up. And you may or may not have lost a troop, it's hard to say. Anyway, battle's over. They're all going to shatter now, we're just going to take a few seconds to heal up a few more troops. So that we're good. Post-battle, I mean. And do that. And anybody else lost a troop? I don't know. I think these might be the only units that actually got any damage on them. Alright, one more time. Alright, that's probably good. There we go. Still crazy that he attacked us, but hey... Oh! Oh, no, we'll still get the defeat trade, right? I think I tested this in the early portion of the campaign, or at least I wanted to test this in the early portion of the campaign, whether we still get the defeat trade. I mean, we won't get the main defeat trade. Maybe I should have let Zatan escape, actually, but whatever. The errant duelist trait, as it were. I don't even remember Zatan's main defeat trait. I think it has to do with magic find chance. Although I could be wrong. Let's see. And I guess we could heal up the knights. On the other hand, why would we bother? Alright, we'll find out in a sec. I didn't even check what Zatan's, actual defeat trait was. But we'll know in a mo. And, Kolek. I see you're nearby as well. Well. We'll get another nice defeat trade. Hellkeek wants an non-aggression pact. That's not gonna happen. Burundan Stoneheart. Did we not just destroy you? I guess you're still alive over here. I mean, we don't have to necessarily completely destroy them. We only went over here to get this guy XP, so yeah, sure, why not? You can try to survive, and with no more settlements remaining. Magic item drop chance plus 40%. Damn, that's a nice defeat trait. Yeah, while I was right about it being magic item drop chance, the range plus 15 for artillery would be useful, just not in any of these armies. I wonder if it would count the ships. Hard to say. Alright, Great Unworthy Act. There's that buff for Thrall Knights and Black Knights and whatnot. Witch Hunter attack is imminent, though by the looks of it, not super imminent. Despite what the game makes it seem like. What did that defeat trait give us? Zatan should be all the way near the end here. Casualties post-battle plus 15% and 10% melee attack when fighting Chaos Dwarfs. I don't really care about that. Either one of those. To be honest, unless casualties captures impacts valor in some way, as that is still something we would like more of. Anyway, with that, we're out of time. Next time, we'll hopefully hunt down Kolek here, if we can reach him, and I hope that we can. And probably fight for the Trident of Mathlan and maybe the Hidden Threat Part 2. One or two of these things as we prepare for the next Witch Hunter threat. We are waiting here with Edmund at Middenheim and here at Nongchang, and with Walach specifically, while we protect these things from the next spawns. Plus, the next spawns will hopefully give us a few more of those nice, nice unique units. Plus, we're very near to Carcassonne. We may be able to take it next time as well. So, stay tuned to find out. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.